Sawadee Kap, I'm JP Mestanza. It's December 18th. Welcome to Phuket Extra, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. The Supreme Administrative Court has upheld the decision to revoke the title deed presented by the Peaks Residences condo project in Kata, as the deed has been deemed to have been issued illegally. Bangkok MP Siraj Yanjaka has spearheaded the investigation into the Peaks since he received death threats over the condo project last year. He traveled to the Regional Administrative Court in Nakhon Si Thammarat to be present as the Supreme Administrative Court's decision was announced. MP Sira said investigations will continue into the officers at Kata municipality who issued the construction permit and those who issued the title deed. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. The upcoming provincial administrative organization elections, the PAO elections, may struggle to garner much interest from young voters, according to experts. This weekend, we'll see local elections across 76 provinces nationwide for the first time since the 2014 military coup, and here in Phuket, 77 candidates are vying for seats on the Phuket Provincial Administrative Council. Incumbent PPAO acting chief Wacharen Patongwatanapong did not register his candidacy, meaning the position of PPAO president will be up for grabs with 5 candidates entering the race. The extra efforts to prevent the spread of COVID-19 has doubled the budget required in Phuket to hold the election to 26 million baht, as the number of polling stations has increased to 496 across the island, which will be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. this Sunday, December 20th. Please note there will be an alcohol ban from 6 p.m. Saturday night to 6 p.m. Sunday night due to the election. Political scientists are intrigued to know whether the revived local poll will enthuse voters, particularly young first-timers. Young voters were highly influential at the general election in March of last year, when many of them swept the now defunct Future Forward Party to power. The new look FFP won 80 MPs and clinched its place as the third largest party in parliament at the time. Still, a political expert from Chulalongkorn University, Vidyasak Grotep, told the Bangkok Post that since the elections are organized so close to the new year, there's concern that because voters will have returned home for the holidays, they will be reluctant to spend time and money traveling just to vote in the local elections. But the Election Commission forecasted that the turnout could be as high as 70 to 75%. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Phuket Extra will be right back after this. Welcome back to Phuket Extra. Could a higher excise tax be imposed on oil-powered vehicles? That's what's going to be discussed next month between the Thai government and companies in the kingdom as a way to reduce air pollution. The blanketing of harmful levels of particulate matter 2.5 dust are annual events in many parts of the country, including Bangkok, which just this week saw massive levels of PM 2.5 in the air. The current excise tax structure for cars is due to expire at the end of 2025. And a source from the Finance Ministry is telling reporters that there is interest in considering a, quote, more appropriate rate, with a proposal that would bring the highest tax on vehicles with internal combustion engines as a way to encourage people to buy more electric vehicles. Other measures on the table include a corporate income tax rebates that incentivize companies in Thailand to buy more electric vehicles. Still, the whole thing is moot if there are no facilities to charge the electric vehicles, according to the Director General of the Excise Department, the agency that is studying the whole tax structure for vehicles, saying investment in infrastructure to facilitate the use of EVs is crucial, such as a power grid system, charging stations, designated parking spaces, and more. In the past, the department adopted excise tax measures aimed at supporting the outcome of government incentives while simultaneously helping to minimize the use of outdated technology and products that were not eco-friendly. An example of this is when different excise tax rates were applied to encourage the use of unleaded petrol in place of regular petrol, or when the tax was used to encourage the use of 4-stroke motorcycle engines to discourage use of 2-stroke engines, which reports say created higher levels of air pollution. Visitors to Thailand from 56 countries can now enter the kingdom without a visa, although they still have to go through the 14-day hotel quarantine and pay for that. The announcement was made yesterday by the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration in Bangkok, the CCSA, and they say that visitors from countries like France, the US, and Australia can enter Thailand with no visa, but they're still required to show a certificate to show that they're free of COVID-19 72 hours before their flight. And upon arrival, they would need to go through the 2-week quarantine and be tested for COVID 3 times within that span, up from 2 previously required. Once in Thailand, visitors would get 45 days instead of a 30-day visa on arrival, although this does amount to a 30-day visa since those first 2 weeks are spent in a hotel room. The revisions come as the tourism-reliant economy struggles to encourage more domestic activity, but an ongoing travel ban and 14-day quarantine upon arrival continues to keep most foreign tourists away. The testing process, meanwhile, was increased from 2 to 3 within the mandatory quarantine period, and officials say that the results of this increase in testing will be studied to see whether the quarantine period could be shortened from 14 days to 10 days sometime in early 2021, hoping that a shorter quarantine period would attract foreign tourists. For more, visit thephuket.news.com. Thank you for joining us on Phuket Extra today, brought to you by pvcphuket.com. For safe, secure, and soundproof windows, visit pvcphuket.com. We'll be back on Monday with everything you missed over the weekend. Until then, stay classy, Phuket.
คุณมองเห็นอะไรไหมครับถ้ามองไม่เห็นเดี๋ยวเราจะย้อนภาพให้ดูทีละมุมถ้ามองจากรถที่อยู่ด้านหน้าคุณจะเห็นชายขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ตามมาด้วยความเร็วปกติถ้ามองจากคนที่นั่งอยู่ข้างทางคุณจะเห็นชายขี่มอเตอร์ไซค์ผ่านไปด้วยความเร็วปกติแต่ถ้ามองจากคนที่ขับรถตามหลังมอเตอร์ไซค์คันนี้มันติดไม่มีไฟท้ายก็เหมือนไม่มีคุณอยู่บนถนนตรวจสอบไฟท้ายให้ใช้งานได้อยู่เสมอ